Discord. So it's going to pull up and it's going to say ready to win. All right. So here you're going to see a couple of things right out of the gate. It's going to show us who the presentations are designed for and what's included in the presentations right along the middle. Okay, so we'll get to this in a second. At the top, there's a few cute key little tabs that we want to talk about. Custom settings. You're going to be able to customize some of these settings so that when you go back to your presentations, they remain the same. There's also a full library that's going to show you what's all available in Present, right? Should have your name. And then at the bottom, it's going to show any presentations that you already have. So things that you already have done in the past will be here at the bottom. Okay. So where are we going to start? Well, let's go ahead and look at what are the things we can do with Present and how can we use them? Well, the first one we have is win the listing. This, of course, is what most people are going to think of as a CMA builder, very similar to Cloud CMA. It's going to go out, it can fetch the listings for you. You can add your own listings. You can pick slides that you want to be in the presentation. You can then email the web version to your clients prior to your appointment. You can email it to them after the appointment. You can also download it as a PDF and print it. And then once you do it, you can actually update it on the fly. Just by hitting an update button, it'll update all the current metrics that you have put in place. We also use this to do video CMA updates to people in our sphere, past clients, anybody that lives in a house, our sphere. So a couple of different ways that you can use this. It's going to tell you what's included in the presentation. So when the listing has full analytics, it has custom content, it has a contract upload. You have the ability to actually upload your listing agreement to be able to send that and a buyer, seller's disclosure, whatever. You could upload all the necessary documents with that CMA and send it to your client ahead of time or after the fact, or just trying to solicit business, right? You can include it. It'll have the CMA, and there's also the ability to get feedback. Okay, so it's got feedback capture. Now we have three in the middle of the page. We have three different presentations that we can utilize with buyers. So the first one, this is the newest that's been added to the platform. This all came about when it was required for us to have signed BBAs. Of course, we've already had to have that anyway, but they created a win the representation presentation that you can email to new leads when they come in, active leads, current buyers that you're working with. If you want to send them a really nice presentation in a, in a PowerPoint like this ahead of time, ahead of meeting with them, it's set it up, pick which slides you want and send. You also have the ability to add a buyer agreement. So it's got full analytics, custom content, and contract upload. This one does not have a CMA attached and it doesn't have feedback capture. Okay. Now we also have a buyer tour. The buyer tour is very similar to the CMA in that it has full analytics, meaning it's going to be able to pull in properties and such from the MLS, right? So what this is used for, custom contact and feedback. This is used to send to your client with a list of homes that you're going to be showing them on a Saturday. So you have your showing set up, you have 10 properties that you're going to show. You can go ahead and load those 10 list MLS IDs into this presentation, and it's going to have a nice little custom presentation with all the listings that your buyer is getting ready to view on Saturday. It also gives them a little area where they can rate each property. So you can send this, you can also have it as a PDF, or you can send it as a web link. So you could say, hey, these are the 10 properties were scheduled to see on Saturday. Please let me know if you've changed your mind on any of them. I have confirmed that as of Thursday, today, they are still available. Okay, so this is a buyer tour. It's branded. So it's got your branding, it's got their name on it. Everybody loves, those are the two most important words in the language to everybody is their first and last name. So now you're giving them a presentation with properties they're going to go view with their name on it, with your name on it. Again, could I just print an MLS printout? Sure. Can every realtor do that? Sure. Can every realtor do something a little nicer? No. I mean, they could if they had access to this, but they could also have access to this and still not want to take 3.5 minutes to do it. So again, I'm going to differentiate myself and I'm going to utilize the buyer tour. Then we have win the offer. You'll see win the offer is very similar to a CMA. The win the offer are for those analytical buyers or any good buyer's agent that is going to load all the properties and load the properties, the comparables around the house that the buyer wants to make an offer. And this again will show them if the house has been properly priced. So it's a reverse CMA. Instead of doing the CMA for the seller, we're doing the CMA for the buyer to ensure that the home was actually listed properly to begin with. So we do that anyway. And then we just have an anyone presentation. So this is just a general presentation that you might just want to do for anyone. So that's the capability of present. Any questions on who and what and how we get to do this? Did that prompt any questions yet? All right. So before we get started, let's go ahead and come up to the top if you're following along to custom settings. Before we jump into any of the presentations, let's go ahead and see what is it that we could customize. So we have two sides to the screen here. On the left, we have the customize the actual presentation. So here it's going to say create your default layout and order for each presentation type you'd like to use. Presentation type, what is that? Well, there's 3 different themes, if you will, for you to create presentations. There's a traditional presentation, and that's the way the slides look and such. So we'll click on that in a second. There's a modern presentation. So it's got a different theme throughout of it, different colors. The data looks a little different way. And then we have luxury. So if you want to use the luxury collection, you're going on a higher price listing, or you're showing higher priced homes and you would like, the win the listing or whatever to be different in the views, the actual theme of the templates, there's the luxury one. So you have the ability to customize any of these here, which it'll be your default, but always know that as you actually build a presentation, you can customize the slides at any given time. So you can customize which slide goes into each presentation on the fly. Okay. So if you have not been in here before and clicked on anything, all 3 of these should say customize. So if you just look at the traditional and hit customize, it is now going to show here who's it customized for. Well, I have for myself. And then it's going to have different themes. So you can actually change colors, right? It's going to have primary. There's font, logos. See how the logo's at the bottom? You can add additional logos. So if you have other logos, if I wanted to add another logo, right? So I could add additional logos if I wanted. If I have a Remax Center one, I can add those. Information placement, I can come in and say, I want, this at the bottom. I want this to go at the top or the bottom. So it'll show you what you can customize if you want to move it to the top. And this will now hold this default moving forward. Okay, once you hit save and continue. So I do like the information at the top. You might like it at the bottom. I think I like it at the top. I don't know. So I'm just going to change it. So I'm going to hit save and continue. And then it's going to come down to the next area, customize default for myself. Your default presentation has 5 sections, 21 slides. Okay. So I get to decide if I want to keep that or if I want to change it. So under the win the listing, it's going to have why I'm the right fit. It's going to have, well, it's going to have the first page. Then it'll have under why I'm the right fit, about me. So it's going to bring up a bio. I want that in there. Then it's going to have my testimonials. If you haven't linked in any testimonials, you might want to say, well, I don't think I want that one in there, right? So I could say, no, let's take that one out or take it in. Value of an agent. The home selling process. You click on it first and decide if you like it. If you like it, then say, yeah, I think I want to include that. I'm actually going to take testimonials out because I don't have any, right? So you get to realtor versus an iBuyer. Yeah, I think I want that in, right? Now you can pick these on the fly, but this is going to go ahead and customize your default so that you don't have to, you at least always have a good starting point. The road home. And this one is not clicking over for some reason. Maybe they took it out. I'm not sure. We'll have to look. And then it's got all these pages for buyer guide. All these things. Again, these are all going to be available when you're building a presentation on the fly. But if you want to change your default, you have the ability to come in here ahead of time and decide which one on win the listing, representation, win the offer, or a general presentation, which ones you want it to be a starting point. Okay, so let's just say I don't change anything, right? I leave it. So you can spend some time and customize those. Now, you also have the about me and the testimonials. So the about me is pulling from your bio. This is pulling from your bio. So if you would like to change it, you can come in and change it in here. And then you can add an image if you wanted a different image or something. Because it's already going to have your image here, right? So I would get this the way you want it. And you have a lot of space. It looks like it's, I don't know if I can keep going. I think you can keep going to make this even larger. So again, if you want this in your presentation, you're going to be able to add it. And then your testimonials. The testimonials will actually let you link directly from your website. So I thought it did. Link to, let's see, link to additional testimonials. I thought it linked to our website, and I know I have some in there. Go to. Oh, here it is. So I can actually, it should be linking resync testimonials. Oh, so it did. It pulled in, as soon as I hit that and hit resync testimonials, it brought in some of the testimonials from my website. And then if you want to add more, you can. So, and if you need help with like setting yours up, we can help you. All right, so spend some time and see what you want to customize. Okay, I'm going to go back now to the other tab at the top, which was presentation library. When you come here, this is going to show you all the different slides that have already been loaded into the library that are at your disposal to add on the fly or to create a blank presentation. So what do we have? Well, we have Remax slides 72. We have things about residential 27. We have 8 buyer guide pages. We have 43 from the collection. We have 13 from the collection buyer guide, 6 slides about commercial, 8 slides about the seller's guide, and 11 slides about the collection seller's guide. Collection is our luxury line. Okay. And then what's it say? Want to add your own content? You can add your own content. So the sky's the limit. And then you'll be able to just kind of scroll through here and see all the road home. You can go through and see all the different slides already pre-approved, already done. So there's nothing to create. All you have to do is put stuff together. Okay, so you say, okay, I'm going to spend an hour on Monday afternoon, get my slides the way I like them. Now I don't have to worry about it next time I open up a presentation. Okay, so that's the benefit of that. Now, let's go ahead and do the one that's probably the most popular if you aren't using Cloud CMA or RPR. If you're using the 7-step pricing strategy, you may just like some of the slides. You might not care about the actual CMA portion because you may be using the spreadsheets and the strategy that we've already taught. But there are still some good slides in here that you may want to take advantage of, where you could send the slides and then bring your pricing paperwork with you. You could send the slides ahead of time or print them as a PDF, however you choose to do that. So I'm going to come to sellers and hit start. Just like Cloud CMA, it's going to ask for an address. So let's put in something in Georgia. Once you put in the address, you're going to hit next and it's going to go out to the tax record and see what it matches up. And it said that it found single family, 5-bedroom. Living space is wrong just because I lived there, so I know that's not right. Year built. So after you do that, you're going to see if I just wanted to go to a presentation, I could, but if I actually want to pull in comps, I'm going to hit next comp details. So I click on comp details and voila. It already goes out. Here's the subject property right in the middle, and it's already pulled comps for me. Why did it do that? Because it defaults over here on the left to automatically go find some comps. Now, some of you say, that's what I didn't like about Cloud CMA. I like to use my own comps. Maybe you go into FMLS and do your research first and say, you know what, these 10 comps look perfect and I want to use it in present. So you would click over here to the next tab where it says manual. And one by one with a comma in between, you're going to add the MLS IDs for the comps that you would prefer to use. So you have both options. Now, when it does manually, it has a lot and underneath, let me move you guys out. Underneath the picture, it's going to show you what it thinks is a good match. So coming soon 0, active 0, pending 0. It found 6 sold. And the sold are going to be the ones in red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are the 6, and it tells you what it has pulled. So it didn't pull that active, didn't pull any of these, and those are dark green, so I don't even know if they're active. But at any rate, it's showing you what it pulled here. Now, for property type, it'll show you why it picked these comps. So you might want to say, well, let's go ahead and add condos too, right? You probably wouldn't, but you might. So then you can say, oops. Now I just added condos. I don't know if there's any condos out by Chateau Forest, so probably not, but you can change it. Bedroom count, it did 5. So what if I wanted to do 4? Instead? Now it's going to go and look for 4. So you can change what it is pulling in real time. So this one said it's 4,000 to 6,100 because I had put in 5,100. So I'm okay with that. So it pulled comps. So these are all 4,000 to 6,000, 6,100. Year built, 2004. Close date, it went back 6 months. What if I want to go back more? I can just move it 9 months. So if I want to go back further, I can. And then lot size. It went up to 64. I would leave that. So you do get to kind of play around with the criteria of what it's pulling automatically, or just use manual and then you can put in your own. It looks like multiple elements can be entered, must be. I guess you can add some manual ones to the ones that have been pulled. So I don't think it's a either or, maybe it's a combo you can do. I haven't tried that part yet. But here it's going to tell me, okay, comp data, single family condo, 4 bedroom or more, 4,000 to 6,100, all years, sold 0 to 9 months or 2004 years. So now I'm looking at my comps and I'm like, I don't know if I like that or not. I'll go in and check it and take a look. So now we hit next, build the CMA. Oh, let me go back for a sec. Let me hit the back arrow just once. While you have this screen up, remember when I said you could do video CMAs? I have a sample of one I did actually for this neighborhood. If I wanted to do a CMA for a past client that lived in Chateau Forest, I could start recording my screen right now. Okay, so once I went in and looked at this data, like this is one that sold October 21st for $1,050,000. That was next to my house. What the heck? Which one is that? What? They must have added a new house. Anyway, so you can go in and nose around first, like, okay, that one sold. Um, what's up with this one? 1024 sold for 835. You can go in and look at these ahead of time, spend a couple of minutes, and like this one is sold. There's another one that sold for 1 million. So what I would do is I would take a look and say, okay, that one sold. I get my bearings. There's not too much. Then I'm up here in the corner. Then I would come and hit the record button. And I would say, "Hey, Mike and Holly, it's Sue. How you doing? Hey, I thought I would just take a minute and give you a little snapshot of what's happening in Chateau Forest. I found it really interesting how the prices have nudged over 1 million, which I'm a little shocked. Anyway, here's your home. And I just wanted to point out a couple of them. This one's right around the corner. And look at this one. It sold for 1,050,000. Wow. 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. Actually, it's even smaller than your house. So wow, that's things are looking good in Chateau Forest. There was another one I wanted to point out here. This is this other one, and I've always loved this house. I know we've talked about it in the past. This one actually sold for 835. And then there's just one more I was going to pick out that I thought was interesting because of just the way it looked. I think we talked about this one in the past, but this one also sold over 1 million. Anyway, just wanted to pop in and give you a little quick update. I hope things are going great and you're getting ready for the holidays. If this has prompted any questions for you, please, by all means, let me know. Or if you have any questions about your equity position, I'd love to do a full analysis just on your specific home. So let's catch up soon. I look forward to chatting with you real soon. Take care. And so you want to keep that video to a minute or under. Right? Now they're seeing you, hearing from you, and they're like, dang, she did an update just for me. I didn't even ask for it. So those unsolicited CMAs are awesome. I really, if everybody did 2 of those a week, that would be, and you worked 45 weeks a year, that would be 90 little video updates over a year period. Oh my God, you'd have so much business. It would be ridiculous just from those videos. Those videos always get us good traction.
Where's the
Okay, so
record button?
I'm sorry.
Where's the record button?
So you can't record within Bold Trail. So what you do is you open up a Zoom screen like we have here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you open it up, share your screen, and then when you're ready, you just go to the top and hit record. And then when you're done, hit stop recording, and then that video will save on your computer, and then you just upload it and send it to them.
I like that. Thanks. That's cool.
Yep, super easy. Yep. All right. So now we're going to go to build the CMA. So now what happens is, all right, you'll see here, you can enter your own price if you want, or you can go ahead and just give it a range. I always recommend a range, not a single price, but that's just me. And so what if I said, okay, I think their house is going to sell between 925 975, which this falls in line with the pricing strategy. So okay, so I hit add. So now I have my range in here. And then it's going to show the average of comps, average of closed was 920, right? Then down here, you'll see it's got average monthly list slash sales price. Is it the average active comps has been on the market for 15 weeks? Is it fresh or stale? It's saying fresh. Shelf life 107. So it's creating this report here. Okay. So now what happens is if you hit create presentation, it's now going to put all this data into the PowerPoint. And you'll notice mine, I didn't go in and, really customize it like crazy. 24 slides, right? 6 sections, 24 slides. This is the traditional theme. What I was saying before is that you could switch this on the fly. So what if I was like, oh, darn, I meant to do this in the modern. Well, you can just click this and say, or you can say, oh, no, this is luxury. So I could just flip it to luxury right now. So I just flipped it to luxury. It's going to change the look of it a little bit, right? I have who it's prepared for. If I didn't have the name in here, I could go ahead and add the name to, or I could add the name to the front, right? And then it's going to have, why am I the right fit? So it's going to show me what's already built in. And again, you can go in and create this by default. And I'm going to click on each slide to make sure that I want it to go. So I click, and then it brings it here in the middle. So am I like, why am I the right fit? Do I like this? Yeah, I like that value of an agent. Yeah, I want to keep that slide. Then I can go to the next one, home selling process. Remember, I just kind of added this before. And I have my information at the top. So I'm good with that. Then I keep coming down the road home. I don't know if I'd want that one or not, but I had just clicked on some. Remax, the number one name in real estate, most trusted. And you could be like, no, this is too much about Remax. I'm going to take that out. So I just hit the X and that'll take it out. Okay. So you go through. Now, when you get to the bottom of the section of things you've already added, it's going to say add slide. So this is why I say you can always customize these on the go. So I would hit add slide, and then it's going to show me what other choices do I have to add to this section. And I could say, oh, I forgot that one slide that I definitely wanted to talk about. And that was, I don't know. It was this one, right? So just click on one and then you can hit add selected slide. And now it'll add it in there. The next section, what's my home worth? Well, here's the market analysis. So it's going to show what the analysis is here, this one part, market assessment, and then it'll say click any box to view further details. So when you come here, it's going to bring up further details. This is all interactive for them. Okay. Selling price, right? It's going to show some graphs. Then we're going to come into here, why price correctly. So if I know price is going to be an issue, maybe I definitely want that slide, right? And then we'll come to marketing and buyer activity. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to market analysis. That was selling pace. I was trying to find where is the actual price. Maybe it's further down. Hold on. Add slide. No, I don't want to add slide. There are some more slides that you can add. I noticed that because I'm 1 hour coach. What's that one? With the hourglass. Okay, odds of selling it above listing price. This is cool because this is actually this. See this? This talks about the buyers that we have interacting with Remax Center and how many are interacting around. But I didn't get the price in here, so hold on. Anyway, my marketing plan, you can add additional slides, and then it's going to have next steps. So at the back, let's get started, or I need more info. So it actually will give them feedback. So this is great for like trying to send out to people that you're not sure if they want to do something. You know, they said, well, we're thinking about it, or you meet a seller at an open house. You can go ahead and do one of these and then send it. And at the end, they'll have a let's get started or I need more time option. They might not click on it, but they have the ability to do that. So I want to go back because where am I missing my price? What did I not do here? Total price. Did I take it out? Add. Let me just see if I put in. Maybe if you just put in a price. What am I missing? I'm missing something. Features, comps. Oh, here are the comps. Adjuster, I'm not adjusting the price. Listing info. These are all the comp. I'm trying to figure out where, maybe it's actually when the presentation's done. Hold on. I might be getting ahead of myself. Okay. Let's get to the next. Okay, so you can go through here and figure out all your things, and you have your next steps. Then we put, okay, present and share. Now, when you present and share, you have the ability to add your client's name to this. And at that point, you can also add a listing agreement. You can add a net sheet. You can add a video. You can email the presentation. Of course, you have to have a name in here before you can do that. You can download and print, copy, or open the presentation. So if you open the presentation, this is what they're going to get if you just were to send it to them. So I'm trying to see, what am I missing? Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's actually in here when they actually get in here and start, it'll show them the comps. Still not seeing the price scale. Uh, average, click anything. Well, I might have to come back in here. I could have sworn the price range showed somewhere. Anyway, you're kind of getting it. We'll have to play around with it. I'm just not seeing, it's got all the comps unless we don't want it to have a price, but I don't think that was the point of it. No, that doesn't sound right. I don't know. Michelle, have you done anything in here before where you've been able to? I just feel like I'm missing the
Sorry,
page on.
I was having a hard time looking. I'm driving.
Oh, that's all right. Sorry, never mind. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But at any rate, at this point, you have your presentation and you can add the list. Like I said, you can add the listing agreement, you can download a print, you can just copy the link and send it to someone. It might be designed just to show comps and stuff and not really talk about a price, but I'm going to go back and find the price part anyway. So that's the CMA part. And you, like I said, you might use it just to do little CMA updates. It's a great way just to get in front of people. Again, you can email this all through presentation, through present. So a lot of options just on building the CMA. All right, so that's sellers. Now, when the representation, this I would be putting in every new lead, active lead, prospect. I'd just be emailing these out unsolicited. And then, of course, you can jazz them up when you have a buyer, when you actually have a new buyer. But there's no reason that we couldn't be putting this stuff in front of folks. So here you could put in their name, just click on the thing, type their name, right? Who it's for. And then here, this is really just all that about what you do for buyers. So I could come in here and say, purpose and importance of a buyer's agent. I'd be like, yep, I like that slide. Now, if I want, remember, I could go in and make a default template so that it's already done from the home screen. Then I could hit add slide and I'd say, oh yeah, I want to put in compensation and the home buying process. Add selected slides. Let's see what they look like. Here it is, buyer's agent, compensation, it's negotiable. Costs are explained to buyers and sellers. So these are perfect slides for what we're going through now. This is also going to talk about the whole buying process. So anytime I got a buyer, I'd just be sending this. Hey, this is an outline of how I work and the importance of having a great buyer's agent that's looking out for your interests. Take a look. We'll be going through this. Can't wait to work with you. Don't dwell on it, right? You could even include the BBA, right? At the end, you can actually add the buyer agreement with this. You could add a net sheet. You could add a criteria sheet. You can add stuff. So it's not one and done. Then I could come in and say, okay, why am I the right fit? This is going to say why I'm the right buyer's agent. Client gives them all this. Then you hit add slide. You might say, I want to talk about, get that buyer guide. So I'm going to look for the buyer guide pages 1 through 5. I'd probably do this ahead of time under the customize the buyer representation template so that I'm done. And then I could pick my steps, right? 5 buyer guide, 5 steps. Pick all the stuff that I want to load into this presentation. I'm sending it as a web link. I could also send it as a PDF. I could download it, whatever I want. So maybe I just add a couple more. I'm down, next steps. Again, it's got thank you, let's get started. That's the only slide at the end. Now I'm finished and I say, yep, present and share. I have some new leads. I go ahead and pull up the new lead's name. This will add it to their record in BoldTrail. Add. So now it's actually been added to my record in BoldTrail. If I wanted to add the contract, I could add the URL for the contract or upload a PDF. Add a net sheet. I could do a video. Hey, thanks for, whatever. Look forward to working with you, blah, 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 blah. Or I could just email it. And it's going to go right to Holly, subject, buyer tour, buyer, whatever. Message, look forward to working with you. I could preview it and then I could just hit send. Boom, it's gone. Email has been sent to me. Now I'm going to get the link with this presentation. So super easy. It's informative. You don't just create it once under the custom settings. If you come in and say, I want it to be the modern one, hit customize. After you do your color placement, you come up here and go win the representation. And then you put marketing and you pick all the slides that you want, and then it's done every time you come in. So there is a benefit to coming in and customizing these at the front end. Let me get back. Let me get back. Oh, there we are. Okay. Now buyer tour, this is when you're going to go and show property. So let's go ahead and see what does it look like. Let me grab an MLF ID. So say you're going to go and show some properties. You'll grab the MLS IDs of the homes that you're going to go show. You come up here and enter them one by one with a comma in between. Hit this little blue thing. It's going to put it on a map. Okay, so I could add as many as I'm going to go look at. Then I put in the client's name. Make sure they're already somebody in your account. Then I hit save and continue. Now it's got prepared for. It's got a CMA overview. Average price $575, right? You can put in as many properties as you want. It's going to show bedroom. This is a 2013. Looks like it was just listed. If I want to add a slide, I can. Talking about buyers. Right? I could do something as for buyers if I want. I don't have to. The properties. It's now going to add the MLS listings. It's going to add them here so that they can look at it and go, oh yeah, that's right. We're supposed to go look at that one. That's right. Totally clickable. If I want to add more slides, I can. Then at the end, it's going to put all the properties here in a list, and it lets them rate the properties. So, and they could do it ahead of time if they want. They're like, not interested, considering. So they're able to interact with this if they want. And then again, you always at the top right, you have a web version or PDF. So at any time you could go from this to this, web version to PDF. And then present and share, same thing. It's already added to me. I could add a video. I could open it or I could email it. Buyer tour. Homes. We are viewing Saturday. Send. And then I'll show you what those look like when they come in. And come in yet. And take a minute. But they'll get emailed. And then, oh, you know what? They may have gone to my other account. Nope. Okay. Anyway, probably just take a minute to come in, but go ahead and email them to yourself so that you can actually see how the client is going to interact with these. That's the best way. That's how I learn all this stuff. I just put myself in, put myself on a market report, put myself on evaluation, put myself on property search, put myself on campaigns, email these presentations to myself. That way I can see how the person, that's the best way to learn, is just to add yourself, honestly. Works really well. And you can't really break anything if you use yourself as the test. That's probably the best way to do it. And then when the offer is the same exact thing for when the listing, you're just going to put in the property. It's going to take you through the same metrics as you would for a CMA. And then a general presentation is just one that you would start from scratch. And I've actually never clicked on this. So here we go. I guess you can just pick. Yep. So you're just creating a presentation based off of all the slides that have already been in here. And that might be a combo, how I work with buyers and sellers, who knows? But remember, in the very beginning, I said when you are in here, if we go back to home, remember under the presentation library, you have add a slide. So you can build up your own slides in here as well. So I think I've covered it. I still have a little question about the value on the CMA. So I'm going to nose around a little bit more on that, and I'll add that information when I send out the recording. But any questions on getting in here and playing around and utilizing present? Look doable? It's kind of click, next, click, next. So I think it's pretty intuitive. I think it's just going to require you to get in there and play around. Everybody good?
Yeah, it's a lot of good information. Thanks, Holly.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
Well, if I can be of assistance, let me know, and we will talk to y'all soon.
Thanks, Holly.
All right. Thank you. See ya. See you next Thursday.